Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we are back to give the new Atlas tanker a go. Yeah, another vehicle from the recent update, and I just wanted to see how well it does with milk, since that's, I'm pretty sure right now, the heaviest liquid in the game. Fuel and oil is all a bit lighter, but this one, I don't even know the density. I think it should be around 1. Yeah, slightly more than 1, so we'll go slightly above 20 ton here. And we'll also be filling up the cheese factory in the meantime, so that's a good thing to have. And yeah, this is gonna be a bit reminiscent of the olden days with a 20-ton tanker semi-trailer. Although I feel like this is quite a bit quicker. Then again, since those days we've also gotten a stronger engine, which I of course installed. Man, this thing is going. And yeah, I mean, rigid trucks are always pretty good. Semi-trucks may be a bit more tough to handle in some instances, but this thing, of course, as you would expect, very strong. And I'm also very much expecting more of the Atlas vehicles to be added. I mean, this is absolutely gonna be a platform for multiple things. It just depends on what we are going to see. But I would be absolutely surprised if this was ever going to be the only thing of its kind. I've also seen some discussions on the Discord about maybe adding, what would it be, like 6 by 2 semi-trucks or something. So instead of having two axles in the rear being powered, one of them would just be a lift axle like with this one over here. Honestly, I don't know. It would be kind of cool because it's something different, but I feel like just for traction purposes and all of that, I would likely just prefer the 6x4 setup. But yeah, we're gonna have to see what's gonna be coming. I have no idea, but yeah, I would definitely put some money on there being things in the future. If it's gonna be a semi-truck, I mean, would definitely be cool to have. But yeah, so much about all of that. Did I... Oops. Yeah, I made sure to refresh the condition before the video started, but it's already going down quite a bit again, so yeah, might have to do another refresh near the end. We might also take a look at the truck AI stuff this time around. I haven't changed anything, it's just really losing me money and I should have maybe disabled it a while ago. In the end, I don't even care to make money, but I would very much like the truck to actually do some deliveries and get the warehouses a bit higher up in terms of what they hold and things that I can get when I go back to that shop. But yeah, right now it seems to be running empty most of the time, so I guess when it gets back to the harbor, it just doesn't get any cargo to the next one. I mean, in a way, that's kind of preferable to just it. Oh, there it actually is. And it finally has something loaded, that's cool. I think that's preferable to it just getting stuff that it will get to in like 10 or 20 stops or something. Because that would be silly. At that point, you'll just be going back and forth and never loading, unloading anything until you finally get to that one warehouse. So you would be missing out on a lot more things there. So I think it doing at least a few empty runs is preferable to that scenario. I could maybe also try just going to the harbor at one point and then just going around the entire island and trying to unload somewhere. I think that might also be a tactic. I don't know. The whole AI company thing for trucks is actually... It might be more complicated than I thought, but that's also kind of a good thing because I would like the stuff to be so in depth that you actually have to put in some work, figure out how it's working and how to optimize it. Come back every now and again. I think that's gonna be, yeah, pretty nice in the end. And when it comes to my bus company, I've also added another bus now, so we are now running with 6 of them. So there's now the Lilliput down in the desert again, and the bus going to Gepha doesn't go any further than that. And I think that's gonna add a lot of consistency to the route, which I think is pretty good. I could maybe do another few different things to try out new tactics, but I'm not entirely sure yet. There are definitely options. I might show you guys on the map in a moment. But let's first do the delivery here, and what can I say? This is an absolute breeze. I wasn't really expecting too much from the 6x2 setup with the whole lift axle thing. Wasn't really a fan of it on the what was it again, the Cuda container, even though that wasn't really a lift axle back then. But yeah, this is now going pretty smoothly. Let's check back in how much we actually have over here. There are a few units. I might do another run, and yeah, let's go back and forth one more time. This was a pretty quick one anyways, and I have a few more things to tell you guys. So, do I want to try out the other ranch? I think this one is actually going to give me less stuff, so we might be waiting there. But yeah, just for variety's sake, let's go over here. And quickly take a look at my bus setup right now. We are sitting at 56%, so it's not really going up, it's just, yeah, I think with how many people spawn, there's just gonna be a cap at some point, and I would need to get many more buses in order to really have much of a difference here. But yeah, we have my bus going through Gangyang and downtown, the same thing through Jeju, one going around the entire island counterclockwise, or oh yeah, that one is going clockwise actually. And this one is going counterclockwise that way around. My cheetah bus is now doing another little route over here, just actually also going into Gepha. I could actually cut this down as well, just going for all the major stops on Jeju instead of just stopping multiple times here. I don't know how much of a difference it's gonna make. I mean, in the end, yeah, you are a bit quicker if you don't do all the stops in between, but I mean, some of them should still be worthwhile. And yeah, it doesn't go further down than Gepha. That's of course for the Lilliput, which has quite a few stops on its route. But yeah, that thing fully tuned up, it's running like nothing. That thing is more like a racing bus now than just a regular one. And I couldn't even do this route myself because it runs out of fuel so quickly. I would be maybe going from here to Dessa, and then somewhere around here I would likely run out of fuel. So I guess that driver has a few extra ferry cans. I hope he doesn't bill me for those. But yeah, that's all working right now. I don't know. I overall quite like what I have there, but yeah, I'm back to using two buses for for Gepha and OG mostly, and it's not going that amazingly. I was maybe hoping for a bit higher percentage, but yeah, that's gonna be a limit at some point. Oh yeah, I still have my chair sitting there. I should maybe put that somewhere else. I was trying something for a bug report. I think I showed you guys the other episode where I couldn't load some items. I mean, I could load them, but I couldn't place them on the property. So I made a bug report, and I also tried buying the chair, but I just didn't get any further with it. Might have to take care of it at another point. But yeah, a few changes have happened in between the episodes when it comes to the updates. So we now have um, they've oh yeah, I put I put the stupid marker way to find that direction. Um, so they fixed the whole thing about Ghost stopping the autopilot and other AI drivers and all of that. So that's been fixed. They also changed up a few things regarding dump cargo and also liquids because they used to be just loaded by the ton, and that didn't. I mean, that basically left every single cargo type feel the same because you're always loading to whatever the vehicle's capacity is. Now they switched it over to density, and they updated that we are now actually loading by volume. So we are always going to be full, but depending on the density of whatever we are loading, it's going to be maybe a bit heavier or lighter. And in order to make this all work out a bit better, for the dump cargo, they reduced the capacity of the small dump trailer and the dumpy itself. So that used to be 15 tons, then basically 15 cubic meters, and now it's 10 cubic meters. It works a bit better for most cargos because a lot of them have a higher density than water, meaning that we were already running much heavier loads than before. And now it's closer to what it was beforehand with at least sand and... I was about to say sand and paper, no, but sand, fine sand, and limestone, although limestone is like still 25 tons now, so that's pretty heavy. But yeah, when it comes to coal, it's a different story because coal actually turns out to be lighter than water in terms of density. And yeah, it's kind of a huge change to that entire area back then. I mean, back in the day when they introduced Quang Jin and the coal run up there, it was pretty much made to be very tough and challenging on, yeah, on the vehicle, but keeping that 15-ton load in mind, so it's not impossible. And now it's just been nerfed into the ground, and you can run that stuff like nothing. Basically, what you're loading now with a dump truck is the same weight as you used to be able to with the Limusi dump, or as I like to call it now, the Dumpy. Yes, I decided to finally go full weirdo with my naming scheme, so the Jimusis are now all called Jaloggy, Jadumpy, Jatanky, and Jesemi or Jesemi, whatever. Just because I don't like to go Jemusi dump, Jemusi logging, or whatever, I think the other ones are kinda cute. Anyway, side tangent aside, yeah, that whole thing is a bit weird now, and I hope they find a way to put it back to what it was before because it used to be a really good challenge, but also kind of a fair one. So, yeah, gonna see what comes of it. It wouldn't be realistic just raising the coal density until it matches what it was before. Although, I mean, I wouldn't mind putting realism aside for that and just getting back what we had beforehand. Or otherwise, maybe the mine need to shift over to a different thing and maybe it could be an iron mine that should be around the density that we need in order to get back to 15 ton loads and that kind of stuff, but really depends. I had some feedback posts about that and I don't know. People are a bit mixed on that thing. I get it, but also I don't want it to be like boringly easy. The stuff that we had before was pretty good, and we always have the option to make it a bit easier with the Gdumpy. And honestly, since they basically nerfed the capacity on the larger trucks, the Gdumpy has become a better option than it ever was before. So I think that should be viable. but we gotta see about that. I also had a bit of a go at the whole overloading system, just trying out how things are going there. It's interesting, it's definitely adding another thing to consider. The problem is, I think it's kinda, the current cargo reward scaling is a bit too stiff for that kind of system. Because in the end, and I can easily tell you guys about that in terms of fuel. This tanker, you can fully load up with fuel. It's not gonna go over the allowed axle weight or the total gross vehicle weight, whatever. The same isn't true for the 40-ton tanker. Basically, at above 26 cubic meters, you are going to overload the thing. And if you want to stay within specs, 26 cubic meters on that tanker is going to give you less money than 20 on this one. So, I don't know. I'm a bit iffy on that. But we'll see what comes of it. I actually had Mr. Wang reply to me on that whole thing before the update, and he said that he actually already considered the system that I was suggesting there. So yeah, in the end he saw a few issues with it, and I mean, yeah, it's not perfect. Although I still would I think the thing that can be seen as an issue could also be seen as a chance to let people approach the jobs in a different way, because you would get much higher pay if you were diversifying your load. So maybe getting 10 tons of fuel or 10 cubic meters of fuel to one place, then 10 to another, 10 to a third one. That would give you much more money than bringing 30 to one place. So I think there is a balance to be had there that could actually be really beneficial. But yeah, it could also be seen as a bit of an exploit and a bit weird in some ways. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, there are a few topics regarding all of that stuff right now. I'm curious to see on where they land, and all we can do is give them some feedback. I'm gonna stand on the other thing though that I talked about like 2 episodes ago, that I'm really not happy with what they are doing with their whole asset pack replacement or asset vehicle replacement thing right now. I think it's just a bit weird and not really beneficial for the game, so I hope they change course and don't pursue it further as they go right now. It's not really amazing from my perspective, and I've seen similar sentiment from a lot of other people as well. Anyways, what else did I want to do today? Let's take a look at the truck and what it does right now. Okay, it's returning. I think it should have some. You know what? Let's go over there. Let's go over there and observe it live. I wanna use the nuke. Let's just nuke it. Here it is. It actually has a few default liveries, and this is one of those. Nice little taxi over here. And let's just use it to stalk my employee. I don't see anything wrong with that. I just want to see what that truck is doing right now, if it has anything loaded or not. But yeah, the route that I have right now isn't really working. It's basically starting at the harbor, then going to a warehouse, hopefully loading a container for that, coming back, unloading the empty one, taking another one, going to the next place. And then it just does it for like 10 places or something, so I just wanted to passively load up the warehouses. Yeah, I know I'm not overloaded on this one. That would be very weird. So let's see, it's over there. And Yeah, I think it handles a bit better if I'm not in the area, because when the whole thing doesn't calculate everything, that's the first problem. The truck driver has major issues navigating this. If you've ever activated the autopilot in this area, you will see the same thing. I'm pretty sure it's also gonna get stuck on that corner there because it's driving this way too tightly. I mean, this is all still in testing. I've seen a feedback post on that already, so I don't wanna criticize this, it's just what's happening right now. It's gonna get there eventually. We need better scraping sounds in this game. This could be horrendous, and I'm all here for that. You know what, I'm gonna drive away for a bit, just so that I don't have to witness that, and maybe the guy is driving a bit more confidently once the area is at least partially unloaded. Also, I need more fuel anyways. And I might as well drive over Magnificus over here. Take that. So, yeah, I hope the guy just comes back in a moment. The thing that has me worried is that I've seen him with those blue containers, or if it's just like a single one, I don't know. But yeah, it might actually be carrying the same thing back and forth now. Also, I don't think it's actually showing that. No. Usually the number here shouldn't be 0 at this point because it clearly has something loaded. Even if it might be empty ones. Shouldn't be empty ones though, because, well, it just went to that place. Maybe the whole container thing isn't fully there yet, we'll have to see about it. But yeah, I'm just curious what it does right now. Oh god. Oh god. Please don't put this into the drink over there. And yeah, from what I've seen, they definitely improved the AI behavior over intersections. So it's all running a bit more quickly now, and it just doesn't have everything getting stuck for God knows how long. So that's actually quite a huge improvement. Okay, we are going across the island apparently. I honestly didn't expect this to be what I'm going to be doing today, but well. Honestly, I've been a bit all over the place for the last few episodes, and I'm kinda sorry about it. I'm just uh, not really fully there today, as per usual. I still want to make videos, even though it might be for the worse right now, but well. There's gonna be some compromise here. In the meantime, let's maybe talk about this car right here, the Nuke. Still finding the name a bit weird, but overall, the vehicle on its own, I mean, this is the default taxi livery that it comes with, so honestly, I think it would be best served for the civilian version if it was just put into the taxi company. So I don't know if you would take out the Elisa for this one, but yeah, I think this would be a decent step up from the trophy taxi. Even though it doesn't really measure up to the Elisa in my opinion. I mean, 4 comfort is pretty good and it also drives pretty well. This thing, at least with the engine and my current tune here, is... it's a bit iffy. I should maybe refine this a little bit. But yeah, I think for the civilian version, being used as a taxi, like one of those default offerings, would be a pretty good use case. Other than that, I mean, I have the very best vehicles for comfort taxi. I have some really good ones for urgency taxis, and the whole middle ground thing in this game is usually just taking the comfort taxi and giving it a more sporty tune. So this thing, it doesn't really do much for me in terms of what I can use it for. I could maybe try and see if it has usable trunk space, but besides that, I mean, possibly racing. But this is one of those that, while I'm definitely absolutely happy that it is in the game, I've been asking for more regular um, people transportation vehicles instead of trucks and everything, and I would be stupid to say anything bad about this. This is one that maybe isn't made for me. I could, of course, always use it as like a personal car for just general driving. It's just that in terms of making money with it, that might not be its place in the game. That's what I mean. And yeah, for like your personal main daily vehicle, that's really on anybody who or what they prefer. But yeah, overall, I mean, quality-wise, it's pretty good. Just as all the vehicles that we are getting here, so not really anything bad to say about it. Also, looking at how fast this guy is going, I'm not entirely convinced that the containers are actually loaded. Like, he would have had some problems going, or getting going on the hill. Or getting up there, I mean. So yeah, I don't really know what to do about the whole bus or truck company thing right now. I could maybe give them um, my Atlas and just have them do some fuel stuff. I think that would be possible and not too much of a problem. I mean, let's see. I could make a route that takes some fuel from Lijo Harbor, brings it down to this gas station here, although now that's something that if I don't use the fuel, it's gonna go full at some point. I could maybe bring it over to OG Drilling, then take some crude oil from here, then bring that over to the refinery, then pick up some oil, bring it to the plastic factory, then get more fuel and that kind of thing. That would be a good loop where it doesn't run empty for really any place. The thing is, I don't really do much in terms of supplying this place with anything else. I think you need planks and maybe something else in order to make the production a bit higher. So this could be going full at some point as well, and I think that might break the entire thing there. Isn't really the case with containers because containers basically they just keep going. I don't think there's a limit on how many you can supply here. But yeah, we would have to see what we do with this thing now. Also, maybe for container deliveries, it might be better to get the CUDA container again, just so that the AI can deal with a rigid truck and not have to deal with the semi-trailer, because yeah, that doesn't seem to work right now. But hey, maybe we get another update and they fix all of that. But yeah, besides that, I'm not entirely sure right now. Basically, I'm trying to get the stuff to do something that it can just do in the background and hopefully forever. Also, preferably a job that I don't like all that much, so I won't be sending it up to the coal mine or anything because, well, at least if they get it to what it was before, I would really like to do that job again. Right now, it's just it's a bit too easy and I like it to be a bit more involved. Right now the biggest challenge for me there would be to run back with a fully loaded trailer and don't switch gears at any point. Because I don't need to even winch anymore using the G-Semi. I mean, I could maybe let it fill up the logging warehouse at medium. I think that would be another thing. But yeah, maybe the play here is just getting a lot of different routes for different supply chains, and then just occasionally switching between one and the other, just so that, yeah, if I need more logs, I'll let it do some log runs. If I need, I don't know, more containers to a specific place, I'll just quickly set up one of those. I don't think at that point maybe I don't really even need to save all the routes for a long run. It's likely easier just setting them back up again. There's a limit on how many I can have anyways, so yeah. Cannot go above 20. Anything else? I don't really know right now. It's just there are a few things that I would like to see this being used for, but I'll have to figure out a good way to use it to begin with, and then also yeah, just keep adding a few tasks for it. But with all the different cargo types and the different kind of trucks that you need for that, I think this could be really good if you figure out how to make it do what you want. Maybe the stops should be a bit more involved, like requiring the truck to wait for the next thing. Not sure. You know what I'm gonna do now? I just had an idea. I'm gonna take back what's mine. Stop right there, criminal scum. This is a robbery. Because I want to see where this one goes. Okay. And this is now an unrobbery. You are free to go. Maybe I should have pulled him over with the police car version. But yeah, this is also a tactic that you can do in order to see what's actually going on. Just... he got my kill, I think. Wait. We've just seen that this guy is supposed to go to OG, so he actually loaded something for OG and then doesn't go there. So I think at this point I should really rethink my routing for this guy and maybe just really go to one place to pick up the containers, maybe even just the overseas company, and then go to everything else to try and deliver it, come back around and then drop off the empty. That's gonna be highly inefficient, but it's maybe still better than if you pick up something to OG from here, go to this place, come back, do nothing, go to this one, do nothing, come back, do nothing, and so on and so forth, and just at some point, maybe after 3 laps worth of the OG Ring Road, then he finally gets to his delivery, so... I don't know, without the requirement that he needs to be picking up something for the next place exactly, and also with him kinda being stuck here, it doesn't really work. I think he wanted to turn around here, and that's also a bit of a problem. But yeah, this is partially down to me making a bad route for him, so let him go. And hope he does better than what he did right here. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but right now it seems like bus payments are kinda broken. There doesn't seem to be any money from the distance between the bus stops that you transport those people for. So there's like a flat rate for them getting on and getting off, but the payment that you should be getting for delivering them halfway across the island or something, that's not happening. And yeah, I hope they fix that. I think there's already a bug report on that, so we're gonna have to see. I just wanted to quickly get out my new truck over here. Cover van, race car, where was pickup. I also gave this one a bit of a tune, and I mean, it's at least as fun as the Bora. I wish I had multiple one of these, but I don't think I could even load them all. But yeah, haven't really done much with it because I haven't done the whole cargo thing in a while, apart from my new character. Because that's always a good one to get started with, but usually I don't go much further than that. Yeah. Okay, maybe I should load this differently and actually let's unload this again if I can. Because if I load this one first, it should end up in front, and therefore the entire thing isn't going to be so rear heavy. Yeah, that seems much more balanced. At least a little bit. That's not what I wanted to do. Jesus Christ, I'm really messing up everything today. Okay, it's still pretty bad for the suspension, but we can make this work, I hope. The thing is, I like to keep my front suspension stiffer than the rear in order to get better handling out of it, but yeah, with the cargo weight being on the rear, I think that's not a good setup for this. But if I make it stiffer in the rear, it's likely just gonna end up spinning out multiple times. But overall, the handling of this thing is fantastic. Maybe I've also just been bad at tuning the Bora, so I don't know. I also made a suggestion for a new vehicle that they could add. It would be a Mercedes Sprinter pickup truck, and that should be around the same size as the actual Bora. So if they actually go and replace the Bora, we would not only have a K truck to show what the Bora actually should be based on and showing how small these things are, but also we would have a truck that's actually similar in size to what the Bora is right now, so we wouldn't be losing its functionality. But yeah, that all remains to be seen if we get anything like that, and if they even have what it takes to replace the Bora at all, and like really getting rid of it. But yeah, let's do this delivery just to show off a third vehicle in the update right now, and then I think it's good for this video. I kind of want to stay more on a single topic, but yeah, a few things happened in the background and I felt the need to talk about all of them, so that's what you get for the episode here. A bit more high density when it comes to the information, instead of me just mumbling through a single topic incoherently. You get me mumbling through multiple ones. Jesus. Nice underside. Haha. I of course planned this because I wanted to show you guys what's beneath the car, because Of course, the custom vehicles are just much more detailed in that regard, and it's worth crashing to show that off. I think I want to go to the other one first, but never mind. At least we now don't have all that weight anymore. Let me just try something. Okay, it doesn't slide on its own. I think there's also the problem that currently the doors right now, they still leave a hitbox behind. So I felt that another truck had a similar problem and that was fixed pretty quickly. Yeah, I just wanted to slide it forward a bit. That's much better. And yeah, I'm really happy that they resized the pallets and that the Bora replacement can now also still use pallets even more than before with the old one and the old pallets. Because let's be clear, with the original size of pallets, this thing couldn't be able to carry a single one around. That just wouldn't fit with how large they were. Gotta be careful here. Anything else that I want to mention? I think I kind of forgot about the topic that I had, but that's always the case. It's so hard keeping track of stuff if you are recording and just trying to talk about stuff hopefully coherently. But yeah, overall, still pretty happy with the update, but yeah, again, that one thing about how they are treating the whole vehicle replacement thing, which they made their mission like way over a year ago. Maybe like 1.5, 2 years ago or something. I don't remember when they made the decision. I wasn't even playing the game at that point. But yeah, they are kinda not really going through on that. And that's gonna bother me until we finally get something in that regard. And it's a shame. Ach, come on, 30 km speed limit here. That's ridiculous, and you know it. Don't enforce it, that's just... Live a little. And stop chasing me, please. Oh, okay, so these pallets apparently haven't been resized. Or they are just that size. I might have to ask about that. You know what, I don't even need any more cargo. We can just drive this back to town or something. Of course that would happen. Gotta catch me if he can. Anyways, yeah, we're just gonna have to see what comes next. I expected this will be in testing for a while. There are a few things that they kinda need to still keep an eye on and maybe take care of, and yeah, the company stuff, I mean, the patch notes said it already, that there are going to be bugs and everything, and that's okay. Part of the reason for the testing is to really get in depth with what bugs there are and getting them fixed, so yeah, if we go on the testing branch, that's what you gotta expect, and I'm definitely here for it. So, yeah, would be weird telling people to expect bugs on the testing branch and then feeling like, yeah, why isn't everything running perfect? Ah. Don't have to practice what you preach. You'll see that with so many people. But yeah, gonna see how it all turns out in the end. But I hope they take the time, get this right, and then put it out on the main. That's always how I like things to be handled. And while I was excited for the new stuff, and I still want to see some of the things that didn't enter the testing here yet, I know there are some points. I was curious about it, and I'm happy that we can finally have a look at quite a few of the new things at least. Everything else will hopefully get sorted out, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Although, you know what, one last thing, since we are using the new vehicles today. Let's go back to the nuke, and actually let's take a look at the other paint options. Okay, the taxi is the last one. But yeah, we also have this tone paint option here. Which honestly I wish was... why can't we just have this as a regular tone and be able to then just change parts of it? This is also giving me some Servos vibes, because you can also paint the roof separately there, and you have the little stripe on the side. And yeah, slightly different version here. Yeah, but yeah, overall I just wish this was still paintable overall. Just give us the base color option. Skin number 3 is another stripe that I can't really show off right now with the angle of the light and all of that. But yeah, two-tone on the side. Rusty version. And then this is one that we can paint ourselves, of course. But yeah, everything else is completely painted over. So no option for us to change anything about this. The one thing I'm not entirely happy about the taxi here is how... And I know this is an absolute nitpick, but it goes onto the fender ever so slightly and doesn't happen on the rear. Happens on the rear on this side, so I think that's just the usual thing with decals not being entirely symmetrical, and that might also affect the default skins they add, but I mean, it's a minor thing. Still hope they get around to fixing it, just lifting everything up a little bit, so it stays clear of the fender. But yeah, that's just... it's a small thing. By the way, they also fixed the light fixture going through the roof here. The little black dot that you could see. Or the little black area, I mean. I didn't even want to make this this long, but I just felt like going through the stuff today. So if I remove a taxi license... Yep. No more weird little dark spot. So that's cool. I think this is actually one of those taxis, and I don't usually feel like it. But this one could actually also work with this topper. Might actually buy one. Yeah, I kinda like it. Usually I prefer the smaller one, but for this one I really feel this version. For once. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me for this video. Let me know what you think about all that stuff. Why is there... Oh, that's a taxi passenger. I'm stupid. Time to end the episode. Thanks for watching, have a good one, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.